Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today it's going to be a match between Reynor and Serral from BlizzCon. This is their semi-final match. It's going to be game number 4 here on Acropolis, the ladder edition. Currently, Reynor is up 2 games to 1. So, hold on a second. Missed of 5. Reynor is up 2 games to Serral's 1. Looking really good, like scary good. Reynor just has Serral's number, man. Serral is really good against everybody in the planet except for Reynor. It's the craziest thing. Anyway, top left of Acropolis here, we have the blue Zerg player. It is the Italian 17-year-old Reynor. And on the bottom right, it is the red Zerg player from Finland. Not 17, older than that by quite a bit. It is Serral. And by quite a bit, he's like, what, 22? Let's do the thing where Falcon likes to cast while Googling, which is everyone's favorite part of the cast. I see comments all the time, people saying they love it. He is an age 21. Oh my gosh, he's 21. He could barely drink in the US. Oh, these are babies. The best players in the world are babies, you guys. How it works, though, how it works in the esports especially, it seems like the best Fortnite player in the world is some 15, 16-year-old out of New York, I think. Anyway, same darn build here pretty much out of these guys. They are going for the hatch, they are going for gas, they are going for pool. Nobody went for a pool first because I just feel like it's too easy to hold. I've seen players try to do it, try to show up at the early lings. They get some shots off on the hatchery, but they can't really kill it. Drones come down to mess with them sometimes. Sometimes just the lings are defensively fast enough to get there to shut it down too. And then you're behind. So you don't want to be behind. So this is what we saw a lot of at BlizzCon and all of the ZVZs that we watched. So I'm not going to cast all of the ZVZs or even this entire series, obviously, because it's too much CVZ. Like, it was really good. A lot of it was really good. And I'm going to cast the best games. But like a full best of 5 ZVZ is a lot, man. I don't think anybody is super interested in that, or not enough people anyway. So, like I said, I'll highlight the good ones. Serral and Sue had some really fun ZVZs. Like some of the most fun ZVZs I've ever seen. This is another one that's just tons of fun. So, here we go. Reynor, again, the style here is both players are fairly passive. We're not going to see any huge ling floods. Generally, these players like to go ahead and ling up and drone up a little bit and make a baneling nest, and maybe one person will poke a little bit, or maybe they'll play defensively, but either way, nobody really dies from this, and third bases come up on time at 2.5 minutes. Like, you can't do this at the lower levels of StarCraft, okay? In a ZVZ, you cannot just kind of blindly go for this play, get your third base up 2.5 minutes, and hope there's not 18 Zerglings and 4 banelings ready to wreck your face any minute, because that's what happens a lot. Trust me on this one. So, but, you know, just they know each other pretty well. They can feel each other out. Understanding that Reynor doesn't want to blow it here, and understanding that Serral doesn't want to lose it here by doing something crazy aggressive. Now, you can't always count on that. Sometimes we do see the stupid, crazy aggressive stuff in a Game 5, which, boy, there are some good examples in the past for sure. Who did it? Special did it against Neeb in one of the tournaments earlier this year. We've seen it happen with players like Classic, too. At really important moments, crazy aggressive plays come out, and it's cheese, man. Either it works or it doesn't. And if it doesn't, you kind of look like the stupid person that cheesed in a really important place, got scouted, and lost, you know? Anyway, like I said, we got some ling harassment, yada yada yada. This isn't really the interesting part of ZVZs. Both players going for baneling nests. Both players they just got evolution chambers, and a lair's getting started from Reynor. Serral, on the other hand, is not going for a lair quite yet. He's actually got a decent number of Zerglings here, but the armor supply is exactly 12 to 12. They just both have fairly similar builds. This is where things do get interesting, though, is once you get out of this stage, do we see roaches? Do we see Mutalisks? Do we see a rush to lurker, possibly? The answer is, maybe. Again, lairs are coming in. Reynor's making a roach warren. Serral, does he not have a roach warren at all? He has decided that roach warrens are for lesser folk. Lesser folk than he is. And as a result, he's not... There we go. He waited until I would say that. Waited until I would say that to start his roach warren. Okay, so it's going to be late, but that's okay. It's a little bit later, not crazy later. Roach warrens don't take that long to build, so he's not going to worry about that. He's not going to die to some big roach push out of Reynor here at all. So like I said, passive style. Reynor's fine with this. Serral, totally fine and comfortable with this. If we just want to have a gentleman's agreement to stay on each other's side of the maps for a while. And then, there's a spire. There is a spire. All right, where is it? Where is the spire? It's hiding. It's a good hiding place. I like that. It's kind of a... not really some place that Serral's going to scout very easily. Although he is making an overseer, and it is pretty close to the spire. So I'm going to say that, and he's going to scout it instantly. But whatevs. We'll see how this one goes. Overseer comes in and makes a beeline, and... yeah, sees it. Okay, so instantly scouts it, pretty much. At least in time to do something about this. Now, early Spire means you're probably going to make Mutalisks. Corruptors aren't super good in this situation because there's nothing in the air for them to kill other than Overlords and... I guess supply blocking the crap out of your opponent can be nice, but then you're left with Corruptors. They can't do anything about the roaches that will come and murder you. So 4th base on the way from Serral. A little bit of pressure here out of Reynor. Nothing too insane. He knows he just got scouted, so that's bad. Remember how I said the Roach Warren for Serral was late, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The roaches are here. They're ready to rock. Overseer continuing to just scout. This is one of Serral's superpowers, is especially in ZVZ, he will scout you forever. Because there's so few things that can instantly kill an Overseer, like you would see, like a group of Stalkers in PvP, like you would see there's just a group of Marines or a couple missile turrets in ZVT. But here, it's like, what can kill it? Well, Queens, kind of. Eventually, but look at this. He's scouted 4 times, and like Overseer's down to 50% health, if not more than that. There are, however, 12 mutas in production in here. They are. Some Mutalisks popping out with their crazy, scary screeching sound. Serral's 4th base is almost done. Reynor's down to the bottom left is here too. And mutas killing Overlords is annoying stuff, right? Serral doesn't want to lose Overlords. He hates being supply blocked. He doesn't want to use resources and a larva on Overlords he would rather be using on army, but what are you going to do? We saw the Mutalisks coming out. And the answer to this is going to be a combination of Infestors and Hydras usually, definitely throwing up those spores with that bonus damage versus biological. That is so much what you need to do, is have spores in ZVZ. Queen count insanely high. Mutas are not bound by the ground, my friends. And as a result, there's really no reason to engage with the queens, and they're really slow chasing around. It's going to try to pick off a queen here. Does get a single queen. All right. Alrighty then. Couple drones going down to something. These mutas, I guess. Maybe splash damage on that glaive worm. Getting some stuff done. I don't actually know. But yeah, there's the Infestors in production. Going for tunneling claws. And this 4th base taking some shots. Spore's getting some free shots too. Spore decides I'm probably of better use a little bit further down here to the south. Everybody out of the way, please. As that drone just passed right through that Spore. That's a really nice thing. Just that no collision on workers when they're mining is really, really nice stuff. There are some Corruptors out from Reynor. He's not going crazy with it, but again, if you can kill the Overseer, that's nice. Overseer, however, is super duper fast. Does it have the speed upgrade? And yes, it does. Pneumatized Carapace is done. So the Overlords and the Overseers are zippy here. So we're going Ling Muta, but the problem here is you get caught out by some Fungals, or some Parasitic Bombs are really good too. If you got Vipers, which Serral should be making Vipers here anytime. We'll keep an eye on that. Mutalisks darting in and trying to get that spawning pool. Alright. Oof, did some damage on it at the very least. That is really eminently snipeable in the future here. Lurker Den on the way from Serral. He is working on a hive here too. Just lings out in the middle of the map. Reynor happily mining because Serral does not want to move across the map. He doesn't really... can't really with his Roach army. It's too small. The mutas would just obliterate it, and the queens can't get out there either because they're too slow. The creep spread has not been very good for either player because, again, it just helps your player get across the map faster, your opponent get across the map faster sometimes. So Serral decided what I'm going to do is not engage this directly. Bit of a whiff. Oh, and the Fungal caught 4 of those mutas. Whoa, they engaged. Why would you do that? Get out of there. Okay, they're all dead. They did not have to die, and with tissue regeneration, those mutas could be back up to full strength really nicely. Banelings getting into the 4th base of Serral. 5 drones going down, but Roaches sneaking on up to Reynor's 5th base. And getting a couple drones here and there, and then you just burrow in and get out. Beautiful. No Observer with this army. No Overseer with this army. These guys trying to do the same thing, but too many Lings. Too many Lings, not enough Roaches to really save that. So we're about 10 minutes into the match, and this is where ZVZ gets interesting. When the Infestors come out to play, when the things like Hydras come out to play, Infestation Pits are coming up. Roaches and Lings, not as exciting. Mutalisks, again, can't really win a straight-up engagement here, but the harassment can be really good. Banelings all dying here. That was a horrible Baneling attack out of Reynor. And the Mutas do get the spawning pool, which is nice. And maybe a couple of queens? Maybe. Oh, the transfuses are so stupid good. Oh, that one stayed alive. It's got 4 kills. That was insanity. What transfuses out of Serral? This guy. I don't even know what to tell you about this guy. Is he continuing to scout? He certainly is continuing to scout. Overseer, once again, not really worried about much of anything as long as the Mutas are on the other side of the map. If the Mutas are over here, then sure. You worry very much about what can kill you, including this queen if you don't actually run from it at all. Okay. Well, that was problematic. Roaches sneaking on into the third base, and there is a queen here, but queens take forever to kill roaches. They're just going to speed your way on in and then keep moving into the natural base. Find some easy pickings here, too. Surprisingly, not really worried about the queen. I guess killing drones doesn't make a lot more sense. Dude, that's 12 drones down. Roaches coming in to this left side 4th base of Reynor's, and good pull that time. The drone's getting out in time. Reynor attacking up. Nope, lurkers are out. That lurker aspect was researched, and now the first lurkers have joined the party. +3 missile attack coming on in from Serral. These roaches are well positioned against these Zerglings. No surrounds possible means only 1 or 2 of these Lings can attack at a time. Now there's a surround and now the roaches die. However, Reynor might end up losing this 4th base in the bottom left. The Mutas are forced to come in and deal with it, and they will easily handle those roaches. I mean, that's 18 drones down, though, but a 33 Mutalisk army supply. The problem is they love to stack up, and as they stack up, chain fungals can wipe them out. Hydras picking at them from distance, too, can wipe them out. Serral trying to go for a 5th base. No is the answer. You will have 4 bases, and you will enjoy it. Same thing here from Reynor. He happily has the 4th base. His 5th base is coming up to the top left. Although roaches might accidentally scout this. This is not something that Serral knows about, but he's going to check it anyway as long as he's out here. Mutas flying on into the main. Queen down, queen down. God, the DPS output on these Mutas is insanely good. The queens do not want to engage here. They got to pull back to the safety of a couple more spores. That spore goes down, but then more additional queens come in. The infestors show up, and that is your cue to get the heck on out of there. Reynor going for the Ultralisks and does deny Serral's 5th base, even as Reynor's 5th base gets denied by the roaches up north. Lings cruising on in. Serral trying to take a 5th base in the top right. No! Say the Zerglings, you will not have this one either. There's a cancel. Take your 225 minerals and get out. Got a Nidus coming up from Reynor inside Serral's base. Now, Queens can handle this. It was a good attempt. Nidus, a really big play of late game ZVZ2. Oh, and it does take down the hatch. The roaches do end up getting Reynor's 4th base. That's a huge deal. Or 3rd base, rather. 4th base under attack here, too, by roaches. Nufflings come in to make it hard for the roaches to do much here. Upgrades across the board are pretty fantastic from both sides. +2 melee for Reynor, +1 ground carapace, +2 flyer, +3 missile, and +2 ground carapace from Serral. 18 more drones die. Are you serious? Man, these roach attacks are everywhere. 20 drones down. Reynor is still up 74 to 63 workers, though. He keeps taking these hits, and it's just not enough to actually kill him economically. He's been doing such a good job keeping on top of that. He's making 2 Ultralisks. All right, 2 Ultras in play here. Can do pretty well against the Hydras, especially if they can get on top of them. They don't actually get affected by fungal, so they're pretty good against infestors here, too, and they can't get neuroparasited because they're massive. Wait. That's not true at all. Right, heroic tag. What am I thinking? Anyway, have I actually seen an Ultra get knurled? Maybe that's my problem, because I've never seen it before. The Banelings, no! Oh, the spines, and that Ultra gets obliterated by the Lurker spines. That bonus versus armored really coming into play there. And Reynor ends up losing his 4th base. Oh, that's not good. He's trying to re-expand along the left side. He does take his 3rd, or his... what is this? Is that his 5th? Am I miscounting bases for Reynor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he was up on bases. God, these lurkers doing so much work, though. Especially against the Zerglings. You just don't want that. Another Nidus trying to come up. Lurker going to shut it down before it comes up here. Another Nidus trying to come up. That's something they're actually doing in a future patch. The next patch they've announced. Once you lose a Nidus worm or it erupts, you've got a 14-second delay before you can pop up another one. Which is going to be nice. It's going to be nice for a lot of people, especially Protoss and Terran, who hate these things. So Hydra Roach coming in for Reynor's 4th base in the bottom left, trying to finish it off here. Serral did actually lose. Did he lose this to The Mutalisks. Oh, I missed that. Whoa, there's your engagement, and bam! Serral is your winner. I gotta back this up real quick. Too much stuff happening. When did this die? Wow, a while ago, huh? Yeah, it was definitely the Mutalisks. Okay, so they come in. Take out a few drones here. Get the transfuse is trying to keep the hatch alive. Serral's down to 3 bases. But again, Reynor losing this base is a huge problem. That's when that died. Parasitic bomb on all these Mutalisks. Getting chased away there while they are super low on HP. Army supply 132 to 110 in favor of Serral. He just has the better composition here with the Hydras and the Lurkers and the Vipers. So Reynor on a 4-base economy, mind you. 70 workers to 55. Serral trying to replant this base if he can. And he is going to be able to because we actually see that in the future because we're mind readers. All right. So again, once again, this is just not happening with the Niduses. Lurker's going to burrow up in this choke, and there's only Ultras here, man.
The Hive class are under attack.
The Mutas trying to take down the Vipers, and actually they could have got one, except they're a little bit too afraid of it. Lurkers on in, and Infested Terran's getting tossed down. That's a wall. Ah, so they can't get on top, and the Lurkers obliterate them. I think that probably would have been an obliteration anyway, but fantastic play there by Serral at the end there, tossing out the wall of Infested Terrans to make the Ultras unable to jump on top of the Lurkers at all there. Looked like an animation bug, wasn't it? Some of these Ultras were not using their, like, I'm a moving bug here, or I'm moving animation at all. Yeah, so this base is toast. This one Ultra can't really do much. Okay, better this time. Maybe the replay just messed up a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, the Muta's trying to do stuff, but at the end, Reynor knows. So he's up on bases, but he just chose the worst tech, in my opinion. The Ultras are just not good. They're just not. They're not good in ZVZ. Like, I don't know what part of him decided that's what he wanted to do, but it did not work out for him in the end. Serral took full advantage of it, got the win, and then forced a game 5, which is massive. So yeah, just an example of kind of what not to do in ZVZ. Reynor was up in bases. He had good economy. He was doing damage to Serral. He was losing drones, but replacing them pretty effectively throughout the game. Resources lost, though, 25,000 for Reynor and 10,000 for Serral. I think a lot of that is in these Ultras that died at the very end. The Mutas were doing a pretty good job for themselves, too, sniping off that base. And Serral was a 3-basing Zerg there. He was not in a good position at all. He needed to win this fight. He needed to wipe this out, and he needed to wipe this out. And he probably needed to kill this base, and he did, effectively. He didn't, but he did, if you know what I mean. All right, well, good CVZ. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to cast. There was so much going on. Boy, I mean, when you're solo casting and trying to observe, it's easy to miss things, as you guys have definitely noticed. So, all right, that's going to be it for me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.